You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back. After a 2-week hiatus, I am back. Mid-record, I got a pretty stacked lineup as far as news goes, or just topics to talk about. Oh, I can't talk today. What's going on, and what is going on, everybody? My name is Drew Yari. Welcome to the Drew Yari Show. And it is Thursday as I'm recording. It's, look at the weather. It's actually pretty cool down here in San Antonio. At the moment, it is, and if this thing will refresh, and what the fuck? It is 70 degrees. 70 degrees. It's going to be like this all week, actually. We're going to be expecting a lot of rain this week, which is good, because if you guys have never lived in San Antonio, it gets kind of hot. I'll just put it to you as subtle as I can. It gets kind of hot. So, I mean, it's something I'm used to. I say I want to move, but I don't think I would be able to move out east. I honestly don't. I'm more used to it here. I'm a very low-key, kind of subtle guy. I can't picture myself moving to, like, I don't know, like maybe Philly or New York or Toronto. I can probably move somewhere low-key, like maybe in Arkansas. North Carolina, probably. I don't know. But, yeah, Texas weather, it's, when it gets hot, it gets hot. When it gets cold, it gets cold. That's the best way to put San Antonio weather. But, yeah, the last 2 weeks, I didn't do a show last week because I had an exam to study for. It was this exam I had to retake for my job. It's a fingerprint analysis class. And, I took it back literally at the beginning of the year, and I passed the first week. I failed the second week, so I was allowed to retake the second week. So the last week it felt like it went by, like it just went by in a blur. I mean, the pros and cons. I had to get up early, like super early, to go to this class. Pros, I got to get out early, so. It's weird. I have to get up early, but I can also leave early. So, it is what it is. Good news, I passed. I actually passed the class, so I'm now certified to work as an examiner, as a fingerprint examiner, so that's good. The last 2 weeks, it just feels like nothing subtle has happened. There's been a lot of news, good news, bad news. I guess we want to get the bad news out of the way. It's been 2 weeks. The passing of our Black Panther, our T'Challa, our King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, which that hit everybody like a brick to the face. He passed away on I'm trying to remember what the date was. So 31, 30, 29, 28th, August 28th, on Friday, August 28th. He had been battling colon cancer. I believe it was stage 4 colon cancer for 4 years. So, since 2016, he's been doing action films like Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame. He's been doing other film. He did another. I don't know if you want to call it an action film, but was it that 21 Bridges movie? He played. Was it Thurgood Marshall? He did that film on Netflix for Spike Lee, that Da 5 Bloods, which I heard was actually very good. I want to watch it, by the way. And the last film he did was with another Netflix film with Viola Davis. I'm forgetting the name. All this is happening while the guy is literally like in pain, dying. I know it's a very kind of brutal way to explain it, but while we were sitting there just being entertained, just watching him work, this guy was hurt. This guy was hurting, and he didn't let anyone know. I mean, the only people who let know were obviously his family and a close group of friends. He didn't even let Marvel know. Kevin Feige was just as dumbfounded as we were. He had no clue that this guy, had this condition, that he had cancer. Not even his Black Panther, castmates. Nobody in Marvel, not one person knew. Which is it's just insane that that he was willing to work, while he had this. And the story was that the week before he passed away, he was already ready to start working out to get back in that shape, because I think it was like last year, or not even last year. It might have even been a couple months ago. He did a thing on Instagram where I think it was like it was something for Jackie Robinson, because if you guys didn't know, his first big role was playing Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, which is actually the first thing I ever saw him in, because I had zero clue who this guy was. And I saw him, I'm like, that actually looks like a good movie. I'm not even a baseball guy. And I watched that, thought it was a very good movie. So he did something for Jackie Robinson on Instagram. And, he's wearing, like, the Jackie Robinson, cap and everything. And the guy just looked very, 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 very skinny. He lost a lot of weight. And I, of course, was, under that impression of, is this guy losing weight for a role? Because is he really sick? I hope he's okay. And didn't even address it. He just comes out nonchalantly and just talks about Jackie Robinson on Instagram. Didn't even address the fact that he is losing all this weight, all the while everybody else is addressing it. And the assholes on fucking Instagram, Facebook, just ridicule him, just make fun of him for losing weight, saying, "Oh, are you sick? Do you have cancer?" Oh, fuck you. And I said nothing, because I saw it and I just, again, I'm ignorant. I just looked at it. I was like, I hope it looks like he's losing weight for. I hope it's losing weight for a role. I hope it is. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He passed away in his home, surrounded by his family. So he didn't die alone. He died, which is still sad, but he was surrounded by people that he loved. I found out about this. Of all the places, I found about this when I was on the toilet. I don't mean to make light of this, but I'm just telling the truth. I was coming off a high because I was watching, SmackDown, and Roman Reigns turns out he's a heel. I was actually pretty stoked. I'm like, oh shit, Roman Reigns is a heel finally. And within 5 seconds, all of a sudden, I just see the article from comicbook.com, not "we got this covered" or Screen Junk or Cosmic Book News. I found out about this on comicbook.com, which they're a legit site. 43 years old. Jesus. 43. Just the guy. He hadn't even begun. He still had a lot more to give. He had been acting a lot longer before then, because he was on an episode of Law and Order, and I think he was on All My Children, I believe, to which he ended up leaving that role because he always said he never wanted to do a role that was stereotypical. He didn't want to do the stereotypical black guy role. So he left that role, and Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, ended up taking the role, and they actually ended up changing the role because Chadwick said that. So they changed it from being a stereotypical black guy to just a black guy, a regular black guy. And that's the one thing that I always noticed about him, I always admired. Because I remember my sister-in-law said this. Anytime you saw him on screen, he just had this poise. Like, he just typical scary, oh, I'm gonna yell about everything and I'm angry about everything black guy role. Like, he was cool. He just had this coolness about him. He seemed like the type of guy you wanted to be around. Like, you wanted to impress him. You believed him as Black Panther because that's who he really was. You believed him in any other role. And unfortunately, we won't get too much of that anymore. It's weird because he was talking about Black Panther 2 a while back. I hate to be selfish, but it's just I can't help but be selfish because I thought he was a good Black Panther. I was looking forward to Black Panther 2. Because the rumor has it that it was supposed to be Namor. It was supposed to be Namor in the movie, so you're gonna get Namor and Black Panther. And at this point, I don't know what's gonna happen. You obviously can't recast that role. You got to find a way to write him out. Are they gonna do a Paul Walker thing and just have digitize his face on somebody and kill him off? Like, I don't know what you do, but yeah, man, just R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman. Just rest easy, our prince. He not just our prince, he's our king. Rest easy, our king. Because 2020 is just an understatement. It's been garbage. It's been a bag of dicks. And it's just I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know how else to really describe 2020. You look at what's happening over in the Northwest, in Portland with their fires. Anyone who lives in Portland, anyone who lives in the Oregon area, please be safe. I hope you're safe. I hope you're staying inside. I hope you're okay. Same thing with people living in California. San Francisco, I hope you're okay. Please be safe. Everything's going to get, fine. Everything's going to be fine pretty soon. Supposedly on Thursday, things might clear up. Well, it's already Thursday, but I just hope everybody's safe. We want this year to end as quickly as it can. We're already in September, so we got 3 months. We got about 3.5 months to go. So there's that. The good thing is, it seems like COVID is starting to slowly, maybe not go away, because this isn't going to go away for a while, but it's not as bad as it was. I looked at the stats, the stat sheet. Sound like a sports guy. The numbers for COVID are the lowest it's been. These past 2 months, it is the lowest it's ever been since the beginning of COVID. Because June and July were fucking high. These past 2 months, August, September, are the lowest it's been. So it's good. I don't know what's going on in New York. Last I heard, from friends I have in New York, Kevin, Castle, Trez, Julian, Rob, people like that. They all tell me that it's. Last I heard, it's it's getting better over there. It's getting better everywhere else. Just wear a mask. That's really. It's really. The simple thing to do. It's not that hard. Just wear a mask, social distance, hand sanitizer. That's all you gotta do. But I hope for everyone's safety. I hope everyone's doing okay. You never want anything bad to happen to anybody. You don't. Let's move on to more uplifting news. All Out, All Out 2020, which happened over the weekend. I didn't get to watch it live. I found the full event for it on YouTube, because I was thinking, should I review it or should I not? And I just said, just bit the bullet. Fuck it, I'll just review it. Might as well. Let me get a sip of my drink real quick. So All Out 2020. the link I was watching, or the YouTube video I was watching, didn't have the pre-show matches. The pre-show matches are Joey Janela versus Serpentico. In a singles match, Joey Janela won, so I'm glad I missed that. And then you had Private Party defeating the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver. So we move on to the first match of the main show, which is Big Swole defeating Britt Baker in a tooth and nail match. Ugh. Let me just find the best way I can just describe this match. This is probably the best way I can think about it. Here we go. Got the volume up. I don't give a fuck. On. Here we go. My best way of describing this match. Did you hear that? That is the perfect way I can describe that whole match. It wasn't even a match. You can't even call it a match. It was a cinematic, pre-recorded, deal. The match begins with Big Swole walking into a dentist's office and asking for Britt Baker. So she's looking for Britt, and she goes into one of the dentists. What the fuck is going on? I hope the internet did not just go out. Well, I'm pre-recording this on Audacity. Are you kidding me? Hold on. This thing sucks. Come on. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Anyways, the match begins with Big Swole walking into a dentist's office. She goes into one of the, the rooms where they, do the dental work and whatnot. And she sees a trail of blood. And, she proceeds to look for Dr. Britt Baker. And then the madness ensues, and it just becomes basically an episode of Looney Tunes. I gotta say one thing. Big Swole is just fucking awful. Like, just fucking god-awful. Like, she's a terrible wrestler. She can't talk for shit. And she's also a terrible actress. Like, in this whole setup, she fucking sucks. She is just... she's awful. Britt Baker, not good in the ring. Better character. She can cut a promo. She should really just reconsider not wrestling ever again. Or just consider not ever wrestling again. And just be a manager. Matter of fact, come to WWE. Her contract ever is up with AEW. Come to WWE, be Adam Cole's manager. Adam Cole can already talk, but just have her be the manager. Like, why the fuck not? This match was bad. This is a very bad match. I was looking at my phone, waiting for this match to be over. It was bad. B-A-D, bad. Big Swole wins by doing something. So we get to the next match, which is a tag team match. The Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Oh, by the way, the Tooth and Nail match was 10 minutes. Longer than it should have been. Yeah, the Young Bucks defeating Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Was what it was. Really nothing special about it. Seemed like something you could have just watched for free on Dynamite. Like, this whole pay-per-view, there was nothing special about it. Really wasn't. It seemed like AEW Dynamite, but you had to pay $50 for it. Nothing really that special about it. Matter of fact, haven't these guys already wrestled before? Why are they wrestling now? I mean, I'm obviously very far removed from anything that's gone on AEW recently, because I won't watch it live. I'll watch it on the replay, and I do a lot of fast forwarding, so I don't really pay attention to anyone's, mic work unless it's MJF or sometimes Moxley. It all depends on what kind of mood I'm in. But I don't know what the point of this match was. I mean, the Young Bucks. One of the Bucks, I think it's Matt or Nick, who is mad for some reason because he's always shaking the rope and he wants to hurt somebody. I don't know what the issue is. But Jungle Boy, I think he needs to really consider a singles career. He's the only one out of that group that has any potential. Luchasaurus is just not good. I mean, for a guy that big, he should be a bigger star than he already is, but he's just not very good. It's a goof gimmick. And then Marco Stunt, I fucking hate Marco Stunt so fucking much. He needs to never be on TV ever again. And I'm glad FTR called him a gimmick. They actually called Marco Stunt a gimmick, and we'll get to that in a bit. But this match was 14 minutes and 50 seconds. You had the 21-man Casino Battle Royal. Winner would receive a future AEW Championship match. Lance Archer wins by eliminating Eddie Kingston. I mean, this match, I'm kind of confused as to what the rules are. This match was so. It's not like a Royal Rumble where, two men start out and you have to wait 90 seconds for the next guy to come in. I think the ring fills up with a bunch of, 10 people? And then you have to wait 2 minutes, and then 3 more people come in. And then the last person is, the Joker card, which is why it's 21 man. We'll get to the Joker in a bit. But, yeah. It is what it is. We'll get to let's just talk about the Joker card right now. Matt Sydal drew the Joker card. Comes out to a big ovation from the fans that actually were there. I don't want to laugh because I feel bad for him, because I actually like Matt Sydal, but gets on the top rope, goes for his shooting star press, slips. As he's jumping off, he slips and falls on his back. Not on his neck, thank God. But he falls on his back. Oh my God. He comes out like a badass and just goes for his move and falls on his back. And he never recovered through that whole match. Oh my goodness. Could you think of a worse way for someone to debut? Like, I don't know if this is. I mean, I don't think this is Shockmaster level bad. I can't even really imagine if it's Shockmaster level, or was it Kazarni level bad? Oh, cause you guys remember Kazarni? Really? Because nobody else does. Who are some other names? Like, what are the worst debuts in wrestling? If anyone's listening to this, get at me on Twitter, or if you have me on Facebook. Or comment on Spreaker when the show posts. What are some of think of the worst debuts in wrestling? I mean, I don't know if this could be the worst, because Shockmaster it's still pretty bad, but it has to be up there. So it came down to Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, which. Anyone that knows me, I love Eddie Kingston. I'm a fan of his. I can't help but gush over him. As far as a worker goes, he's not terrible, but he's not anything to gush over. But him on the mic, it just works. Eddie Kingston on the mic, I can just listen to him talk all day. I can listen. I mean, I don't know if he likes comic books, but I would love to just hear him, read a comic book out loud. You know what I mean? He's just, when he talks, it makes me feel something. I can feel some type of emotion. Because everything this guy says is the truth. This guy has gone through a lot because he said he never got he failed his WWE tryout, and ever since then he went to a depression. Then he went to Impact Wrestling, went to NWA, which is where I first laid eyes on him. So I got to know a little bit more about him after that. And now he's in AEW, which is good, but he's in a weird role. I mean, I would think they would make him a singles guy. He could easily be top 5, top 10 in that company, just based off of his charisma and his talking ability alone. Build this guy up as an ass kicker. Like, he goes out there, talks shit, and then he beats the shit out of people. Easily he can be a top 10 guy in that company. Easily. He could easily be an opponent for Moxley. Like, just that, or an opponent for MJF. Like, that would be something. But for whatever reason, they have him as a mouthpiece for the Butcher and the Blade and Phoenix and Pentagon. Which I don't understand why. I don't get it. I mean, it's not like he can't work. The guy can still work. I don't get why they're making him a mouthpiece for 2 tag teams. I mean, I don't know if they've already made it a faction or if it's still 2 tag teams. I really don't get it. Like, what the fuck are they doing to Eddie Kingston? Like, a lot of this episode is just me saying, what the fuck? I feel like I'm Jim Cornette. I need Brian Last so I can just turn and be like, what the fuck, Brian? And also Jeff Lippman. Shout out to Jeff Lippman. I'm going to be doing a bit of ranting today. It's going to be in small doses. I'm going to try not to make it the whole show. But Lance Archer wins because him and Eddie Kingston are on the canvas. And you got Jake Roberts with Damien, or I don't know what he still calls it. You hear one of the announcers, I think it was Excalibur, saying, Eddie Kingston has a fear of snakes. Since when? Like, if you're going to make these jokes, I mean, I don't have a problem with jokes. I mean, if he had said something like, oh, is Eddie scared of snakes? No, like, Eddie Kingston has a very, he's reportedly fearful of snakes. Since when? When the fuck has Eddie Kingston ever been afraid of snakes? Like, it's just, ugh. And now there's a cat. Those are cats fighting in the background, if you didn't hear that, by the way. But it's fucking stupid. Oh my god. So Eddie Kingston falls off, and Lance Archer is now the number 1 contender for the AEW World Championship. So he can fall down before the might of Jon Moxley, who's been voted the number 1 wrestler of 2020. Which I'm going to get that list up pretty quick. Maybe when I'm done talking about this, but speaking of Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. By the way, that Battle Royale was 22 minutes and 15 seconds. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. If Hardy had lost, he would have had to leave AEW, which I kind of hope he does. That match was 9 minutes. So the match starts off in front of a football field, which is similar to the that stadium match that happened at, I think it was Double or Nothing. Sammy Guevara gets on a golf cart, goes after Matt. Literally within 2 minutes, Matt Hardy gets Sammy Guevara on one of those what the fuck do you call those things? Those things that like construction workers get on, or like if you're going in a grocery store, those people get on when they want to like fix a sign. I don't know I forgot what it's called, but like they get on it. Matt Hardy's trying to go for the side effect. Sammy Guevara, reverses it, and they fall off onto the table of merchandise. So there's a merchandise table. Matt Hardy hits his head by hitting his head on the concrete, and Matt Hardy is knocked out. He is knocked the the fuck out. Ref Aubrey checks on him, throws up the X sign for about 2 minutes. The match is stopped, and you can clearly see that Matt's out of it. Like the guy can't even get up on his own accord. And then they continue the match. And after that is when I just went, okay, what the fuck? According to Tony Khan, he passed the concussion protocol. In the WWE, and I'm going to sound like a WWE cocksucker for saying this, but in the WWE, if they even think you have if it looks like you have a concussion for like a second, they will pull you the fuck out. They will put you on the sidelines and make sure you're okay before you're even 90% ready to go back in. I shouldn't say 90% ready. They make sure you're 100% ready at least, which it's good. You know, WWE has their concussion protocol. They have to make sure you're okay. I mean, because what is it in the story of Daniel Bryan? Like, he had a concussion during a match against Randy Orton, and they had to stop the match. And you know, Daniel Bryan went off on Triple H, you know, cussing him out, saying, "How dare you? You know, why'd you stop the match?" Blah blah blah. And you know, Brie Bella, you know, told him straight up, like, you know, you were wrong. By the way, he did the right thing by making sure you're okay. In AEW, you're deemed okay, even when you're clearly not okay. So, a lot of the drama behind this match, Rebby Sky just cussing out Tony Khan, AEW, and I mean, she's right. I mean, because you can say what you want about Rebby Sky, she's not wrong. Oh fuck. She's not wrong. She's on the right. She's looking out for a man. I wonder if I can pull up the tweets right now. Give me one. I'm gonna pull up the tweets right now. Okay, Rebby Hardy. Come on, Rebby. Come on, where's the tweet? So, come on. Alright, so she posts like the DM with Matt, where Matt had said, "Love you, I gotta hit to the football field in just a minute to start our match. Hope you enjoy." Rebby Sky replies with, "I love you. Don't be dumb. What the fuck? You practically cleared that table. What the fuck? Matt, what the goddamn fucking fuck?" Somebody replied, "Except Ref Aubrey, correct. The one who tried to stop the match. The one who threw up the X. I stand corrected." And then she puts, "They needed additional imaging done after his CT. He's still in the hospital, 1000% concussion. Anyone with eyes could have told you that, though." And somebody named John Alba. Rebby tweets Matt Hardy is concussed and remains in the hospital. Says Hardy passed the required. AEW says Matt Hardy passed the required protocol to continue his match. What did... It says she replied to Rebby Hardy. "Gee, I wonder, could it be the company trying to justify and protect itself from backlash? Or the family with no stake in this, who now has to deal with the repercussions? Guess we'll never know." And John Alba replies with, "Oh no, Rebby, I'm not putting that on you guys at all. That's not how this was intended to come off. It's absolutely 100% the company. Sorry if it reads otherwise." And then she replies with, "My frustration is not at you. Sorry, bro. It's over the insanity I'm seeing from people who have no clue yet are somehow more knowledgeable in the situation than us." Brian Alvarez was told Matt Hardy was doing a lot better today. Rebby retweets, "Funny, neither nor I or Matt have spoken to you." And What is it? Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's about the gist of it. So they end up finishing the match. The match was literally just 9 minutes. It was stupid. It's stupid on Matt Hardy for even agreeing to fucking do that, because how old is Matt Hardy? I think Matt Hardy's 46, I believe. He's about 3 years older than Jeff. That's last I checked. This is a case of why creative control is not always a good thing. I mean, it's good to have a creative control in some instances, as far as getting your character over. But to have creative control to say, hey, can I go on top of that building and fall off onto that table and nearly crack my fucking skull? By the way, I have a wife with 2 kids and also a baby at home watching this shit. It's fucking irresponsible on Matt Hardy to do that. It was stupid. It was dumb. I don't mean to kick a man when he's down, but come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. And shame to AEW for fucking agreeing to that. And don't even get me started with Tony Khan, because Tony Khan needs to fucking realize being best friends with your wrestlers isn't going to do shit. Getting over 1 million getting 1 million ratings on Wednesday night with no competition, it doesn't mean shit if one of your guys it literally almost fucking dies live on a pay-per-view. It's fucking stupid. It is fucking stupid. AEW need to bring in actual businessmen. They need to bring in more guys like Arn Anderson as agents to rein in these guys. Because you have a guy like Jericho who looks like he hasn't worked out in months, or let alone months. Looks like he hasn't worked out in a year. The guy has man boobs, and I would know because I have man boobs. He's out there just pretty much doing whatever the fuck he wants, and it's not working. It's making him look like a fucking joke. Again, you look at a guy like Matt Hardy, literally almost fucking killing himself on live TV to get his stupid shit over. WWE didn't let me do whatever I want, so I came to AEW because WWE is a prison. Yeah, and good luck dying. Good luck paralyzing yourself and letting your wife take care of y'all's 3 kids on your own. That's fucking stupid. It's irresponsible on both parties, on Matt and on fucking Tony Khan. They should have ended the fucking match as soon as that happened. As soon as that fucking happened. I don't want to hear any of this fucking protocol bullshit. It's fucking stupid. It's just fucking stupid. So the next match after this was the match I was kind of looking forward to. You got the AEW. It's a singles match for the AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa, the NWA Women's Champion. Something was off about this match. Wasn't a bad match, but it was just, I don't know, something was off. Something was off. It seemed more like it seemed like Thunder Rosa was really trying to work Shida's style a lot more. And sometimes that can work. Sometimes a clash of 2 different styles can work. But in this case, it didn't work as well as it should. It wasn't a bad match. It didn't pan out the way we thought it would. I mean, I'm a fan of Thunder Rosa. Love her. I'm not just saying that because she follows me on Twitter and because she's from San Antonio. Love her. Love anything she does. Her match with Serena Deeb was a lot better. That was probably the best women's match in AEW history. This was better than anything else under that match. I mean, it's better than anything with, Britt Baker or Big Swole. But it didn't pan out the way it should have. I mean, this is definitely the second best match in AEW women's history. But again, something fell off. It was kind of like the Keith Lee and Killer Cross I keep calling him Killer Cross, Karrion Kross match. Something just felt very off. Like it didn't seem like they were gelling. You know what I mean? Like you can tell watching a wrestling match when two guys or girls just don't gel. Something was very off. Again, I think at the end of the day, it seemed like Rosa might have been trying a little too hard to work Shira's style a little bit better than work her own style. Which again, there's nothing wrong with trying to work somebody else's style, but when you end up negating what made you who you are, it doesn't pan out that well. So, but I mean, the match was okay. I think the whole Matt Hardy debacle, I think it just kind of threw people through a loop. Because people are like, we literally just saw a guy almost break his neck. And you could have put Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart out there. And I don't think people would have really cared that much. And not to say the match was bad. I think what happened to Matt Hardy, it just threw everybody through the loop. Because now we're just like, we hope Matt's okay, and why the fuck would they send him out there? But, I mean, I'm kind of done talking about that, but Thunder Rosa is going to be back next week. She's going to defend the NWA title, which is good. I want to see more, Thunder Rosa on AEW. I want to see more. I want to see better women on AEW. I mean, because I say that, AEW, their women's division lacks. I mean, you have good women. I mean, I would want to see more Serena Deeb. I want to see more Thunder Rosa. I mean, just put better women on the show. So, I currently have the hockey game on. It's the Vegas Knights and the Dallas Stars. Ooh, somebody's fighting. Going for the Knights, by the way. So, next match was an 8-man tag match. Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall versus the Dark Order, which I fast forwarded because it was late, so I didn't want to watch this. I don't like 8-man tag matches. Unless it's Survivor Series, there should not be 8-man tag matches. So I fast forwarded this because I didn't care. Tag team title match, FTR with Tully Blanchard versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page. This match was fucking long. This match was very long. Like, it was too long. And that's another thing. Why does AEW think that having long matches equal great matches? Not every match needs to be 30 minutes long. Not every match needs to be 40 minutes long. You can tell a good story in 15 minutes. 20 minutes. I mean, this match could have been 20 minutes, and I would have been fine. But 29 minutes. 29 minutes and 40 seconds. It was too fucking long. Too many false finishes, too many kickouts, too many times of the ref going, 1, 2, he kicked out at 2. Like, this needs to stop being a thing. This just needs to stop. NXT is guilty of doing this sometimes too, but NXT also knows, okay, come on, we're a 2-hour show. We got a lot of guys and girls we need to put on TV. Not every match needs to be, 40 minutes long. We don't need to have like a million false finishes. Unless it's that takeover. But, I mean, the match was fine. It was a good match. I didn't realize how fucking tall Kenny Omega was compared to the FTR. Like, he kind of towers over them, which, FTR at the end of the day can back it up because they're a good tag team. But again, a lot of false finishes, a lot of back and forth action. My question is, why is Tully the manager if he doesn't do anything? This is supposed to be a heel tag team, and the heel manager doesn't get involved at all. He just stands there. Like, is there something wrong with Tully that we should know about? Like, is he sick? Does he have it in his contract where he physically can't do anything? Or take punches? Or what the fuck? This game keeps fucking... I have YouTube TV on. I have the game on. It keeps saying loading. And the internet's working. So I don't know why it keeps saying loading. ass wipe. Hold on, I gotta fucking do this again. Give me a second. Anyways, why be a heel tag team with a heel manager if the manager isn't going to do anything? Like, why didn't Tully get involved? Why didn't he pull, Kenny Omega's leg when he was bumping off the ropes? Why didn't he throw a steel chair in? Like, I don't get it. It just I'm a stickler for detail. That's just one of my things. It's wrestling 101. If you're gonna be if you're a heel team that has a manager, the manager needs to get involved. He needs to do something. He can't just stand there and just shout. Zelina gets involved in matches. Lana would get involved in matches. Ric Flair, as a manager, quote unquote, for Triple H would get involved. Like the manager needs to get involved. He can't just fucking sit there or stand there. I mean, but in the end, FTR wins. They're now the new AEW Tag Champions, which is good. I want to see Adam Page actually do something because I've always said, I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, of all the guys in that whole elite Bullet Club, I don't even know if they can call it the Bullet Club anymore thing, Adam Page is the one who has the biggest upside. I don't give a fuck about Kenny Omega, or was it Twinkle Toes McFingerbang? Jim Cornette calls him. I'm not a fan of Kenny Omega, so I'm not. Adam Page, I'm a bigger fan of. So this match was 29 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, you could have made this at least 9 minutes and 40 seconds shorter. You really could have. Just saying. Next match, another fast forward worthy match, but I'm going to talk about it for different reasons. The Mimosa Mayhem match could be won by pinfall, submission, or fully submerging an opponent into a vat of mimosa. Orange Cassidy defeating Chris Jericho in 15 minutes and 15 seconds. Didn't watch it, refused to. Chris Jericho has become a giant fucking parody of himself. He really has. I put on Twitter, the fans, quote unquote, that are chanting his theme, I'm starting to think they're plants. Like, I really do, because I can't find anyone who's that happy to hear his theme. I mean, the song Judas was okay at first, and it's really not good. It's just Chris Jericho, his band sucks. Like the band is just a cover band. It's just a cover, band of bad 80s songs. They're just really not a good band. And I think he acknowledges that too, but at the same time he tries to think that he's anyone special. But I can't really picture anyone who's that happy to hear Judas. Like, are you pumped when you hear Judas? And also, isn't he supposed to be a fucking heel? If he's a heel, why are fans chanting his song? Why is he happy fans are chanting his song? Why not get on the mic and say, hey, you fucking marks, stop singing my song? Like, why doesn't he do that? I mean, Chris Jericho's supposed to be a veteran, right? It's just, I don't get it. Like, Jericho, that first half of being in AEW was perfect. He was great. He was doing good stuff. He was a great heel. And now all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he just got too full of himself or he got too comfortable because he knew he was going to get paid and that he was going to be, the man no matter what. But I don't know what happened to him. Like he physically he looks terrible. I mean, again, I'm a fat piece of shit too. But then again, I'm not getting paid like Chris Jericho to go out there and work. He looks terrible. He looks just fucking awful. I mean, 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, he looked amazing. He was amazing. He was in amazing shape. He was out there having good matches with just about anyone in the ring. And for whatever reason, again, I don't know if he just got too comfortable because he knew he was still getting paid. and decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want. I'm Chris Jericho. You know, you say what you want about WWE. WWE was going to rein them in. WWE doesn't just allow anyone to do whatever the fuck they want. They will rein motherfuckers in. If you know, Vince McMahon saw John Cena, you know, getting a little, you know, plump, he would call him out on it. You know, Jericho, for whatever reason, you know, again, he had someone like a Vince McMahon to say, you know, Chris, you're starting to get a little chunky, just saying. In AEW, he doesn't have anyone to do that. He just has, he doesn't even have a boss. He has a cheerleader and Tony Khan, you know, clapping his hands. You know, oh, that's great, Chris. You look, that was great stuff. That was great. The ratings, demo. They have nobody. They have nobody in that company that has any fucking balls. And pretty soon it's gonna bite them in the ass. Like they can sit there and talk about ratings and demos and merchandise and blah blah blah, but in the end, look what happened to TNA. TNA had nobody that would rein in people, and that's why you had guys like Kurt Angle getting DUIs and getting constant DUIs and doing drugs and fucking up his personal life. That's what he had. You know, Jeff Hardy showing up to a pay-per-view, you know, drugged out of his mind. You know, same thing with someone like Matt Hardy. He had nobody in that company that can rein motherfuckers in. And look what they're at now. I mean, granted, they're under a new name, new management, and they don't have guys like that anymore. They don't have guys fucking up anymore. Guys coming in and going as they please. They need better management. And then Orange Cassidy's just, listen, I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care what anyone says. You can offer me $1 billion, and I will never, ever fucking admit that Orange Cassidy's a star. The guy is not a fucking star. This is not somebody who can be on WWE television. You know why? Because he's not a fucking star. He is a gimmick. He's Santino Marella. Which, again, nothing wrong with being a gimmick. There's nothing wrong with being a gimmick. If he was in WWE, he would not be a guy that you would take seriously. He would be a fucking gimmick. But you know what? He would sell merch. You would have kids wearing his jean jacket. You would have kids doing his pose, wearing his sunglasses. But in AEW, he's treated as a fucking star. This guy's gimmick is so fucking awful that even Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor didn't want him. Impact Wrestling wants everybody. Wants anyone with a heartbeat at this moment. You know, Ring of Honor is just awful. It's been awful for the longest time. And they didn't even want Orange Cassidy. AEW, the boss just saw him and went, I like him, give him a job. That's basically what it is. It's all friends fucking wrestling. It's basically the NBA. Everybody's fucking butt buddies and friends with each other. This guy fucking sucks. He looks like somebody out of the audience. He is fucking terrible. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna make him a world champion pretty soon. I mean, a lot of people want to say in WWE they give big lumbering white guys the title. In AEW, they give goofy cosplay video game wrestlers the title. So fuck Orange Cassidy. I'm basically just Jim Cornette today. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. I usually don't swear this much in the show. I'm basically Drew Cornette. I'm Drew Cornette. I better not say that because I don't want Jim Cornette coming after me. I don't need CMP Nuke on me, but moving on. I don't want to talk anymore about this match. The main event, you had the singles match for the AEW World Championship. You had Jon Moxley defending against MJF with Wardlow. Moxley was banned from using the Paradigm Shift as a finishing move. This match was 23 minutes and 40 seconds. Felt like it was longer. So MJF got color and Moxley didn't. That made a lot of sense. You basically just made MJF look like a face in this match. You made MJF look like the face, and you made Moxley look like the heel. Let's just go to the ending. The ending of the match, Wardlow is attempting to throw the diamond ring to MJF, but for whatever reason can't throw it. Moxley goes for the paradigm shift while the ref, has his back turned. 1, 2, 3. So, made sense because, the ref had his back turned and Moxley was about to cheat. So, or not Moxley, MJF was about to cheat. So Moxley realized, I'll cheat too. 1, 2, 3. MJF's first ever loss in the company. I mean, it was bound to come sooner or later, but it's one of those things where I wanted him to win, but I didn't think they would actually give him the title. And the match wasn't terrible. It was okay, but again, it was under the guise of who's supposed to be the heel and who's supposed to be the face. If you're a casual wrestling fan, you're watching this, if you don't know who MJF is, if you don't know who Jon Moxley is, you're going to assume Jon Moxley is the heel, and you're going to assume MJF is the face. And that's where AEW, just for whatever reason, they fail to do a lot. They have a lot of guys in this company who are supposed to be faces, but you look at them and you're like, they kind of look like heels. Like, Kenny Omega is supposed to be a face, but he acts like a fucking dick, so he's supposed to be a heel, right? Adam Page is supposed to be a heel, but he's portrayed as a face. The one young buck acts like a heel, but he's really a face. I don't get what this fucking company is about. So MJF gets his first loss, which again is they didn't really have anyone else they can put in front of Moxley at this point. So they kind of forced their hand to put MJF in that match. I mean, he'll live to fight another day. He'll get another title match. Pretty soon he'll be champion. I don't know if they wanted to put the title on him this quick, especially since the guy's 23. I thought he was a lot older than that. He's 23. So, but yeah, match was what it was. The whole pay-per-view as a whole, I gave it a 6. I mean, the women's match with Rosa and Shida, I thought was okay. I thought it was probably the best match of the night. Everything else around it was just not good at all. It was just god-awful. God-awful pay-per-view. I'm glad I did not pay $50 for it. Even AEW, diehards admit that the pay-per-view was not very good. Even AEW fans. And AEW fans love everything. They admitted it wasn't very good at all. And good. If your own fans who love everything that you throw at them can admit that this pay-per-view is garbage, it should be very telling on what you need to do next. Again, new management, they actually need to bring in agents. You need to bring in people that are going to rein in these guys. You need to have someone with the balls go up to Chris Jericho and say, you are fat as fuck. You're not in good shape. Get in shape. Lose the weight, lose the man boobs, cut your hair, and stop doing stupid shit. Or just be a commentator. But boy. Let's see where am I. I guess we can start with AEW. Usually I start with NXT. But the AEW show that I watched from last night. The first match was Jurassic Express versus Lucha Bros. Again, didn't they already have a match? The show literally begins... It begins with Chris Jericho and MJF showing up at the same time. And, putting over each other. And when they walk away, they just start talking shit about each other. So, I mean, that would be a good feud, Jericho and MJF. Like, again, someone needs to be the face, someone needs to be the heel. Or, I mean, that could be a tag team. I wouldn't mind that as a tag team. But immediately it shifts over to a match that's already in the ring. Jurassic Express versus Lucha Bros. Jurassic Express wins. My question is, what happened to Pentagon? Because first, it can't be Pentagon anymore, because I think Impact Wrestling technically owns the rights to that name. So now he's Penta L0M. Don't make these names long. Don't make them too complicated. Just give people names that they can actually pronounce, or that they can actually say like that. Like, I remember at one point Pentagon was supposed to be a top guy. Like, he was like the hottest thing in wrestling. And then comes AEW, nothing happens. He just becomes another guy on the roster. Oh my fucking God, with this fucking TV. I swear to God. Ugh. It refuses to let me watch anything. Hold on. I'm just not even gonna fucking watch anything. Anyway, so yeah, he just becomes another guy on the roster. Match ends with Eddie Kingston, telling them to shake hands and to make up and blah, blah, blah. So we have that. Next match. Matt Hardy addresses the fans. Basically says, I had a scary fall. In other words, just saying I had a concussion and my boss, who's a complete fucking mark, is, doesn't have the balls to actually fess up and say, hey, I fucked up. And should have ended the match when it should have ended the match when it actually happened. It's just very cringeworthy. I don't know why they can't just come out and say, yeah, he had a concussion. For some reason, you can't say concussions anymore. You can't say concussions in football. You can't say concussions in wrestling. I don't know why. For some reason, Bleacher Report gave it an A. I don't know why. Orange Cassidy versus Angelico. Unable to connect to the internet. Hold on. My Roku TV is not connecting to the internet for some reason. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I need to possibly restart this TV. How do I restart this TV? Whatever. Fuck it. Orange Cassidy versus Angelico. I fast forwarded. Again, I refuse to watch anything with Orange Cassidy. Refuse. They gave this a fucking A. Of course they did. Next segment, you have Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford coming in the ring to talk about their marriage, which they announced on the pay-per-view. Kip Sabian is coming out talking about introducing who his best man is. Two other guys come out. The first guy is some fat guy. I don't know who the fuck it is. And then Brian Pillman Jr. comes out, which apparently it was his birthday yesterday. After that is the debut of Miro, formerly Rusev. Comes out looking like he's wearing pajamas. Has blonde hair. I don't know why. Comes to the ring. His theme music is literally "I'm the Best Man." Yeah. So he gets on and cuts, the usual WWE, anti-WWE promo saying, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass. Yada, yada, yada. So this is how we debut Rusev. This is how we debut Miro. We don't debut him in a segment against, I don't know, Adam Page or Kenny Omega or Brian Cage. I mean, that'd be an interesting feud, Brian Cage versus Miro. We debut him as the best friend of Kip Sabian. No, not the best man. Or not the best friend, the best man. I'm hitting the mic against my forehead if you can't tell. What the fuck? What in the actual fuck? Why? Why debut Miro this way? It's like, hey, Eddie Kingston, you can talk. You can work. I mean, you're a legit ass kicker. Let's have you be a manager for two tag teams nobody cares about. Sure. Hey, Miro, you're in good shape. You can talk. You can go out there and work. You're pretty popular. Let's have you be the best friend of Kip Sabian. Okay, sure. What the fuck? Just what the fuck? Yeah, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss versus Jericho and Jake Hager. Fast forwarded because I don't care. Don't care about Joey Janela or Sonny Kiss. And at this point, I don't care about anything that Chris Jericho does. John Moxley and FTR have a lot to get off their chest. Didn't listen to the John Moxley promo because it's John Moxley, so what do you expect? FTR came out and celebrated as being the new AEW Tag Team Champions by having other NWA Tag Teams surround the ring. Shit-talking everybody, saying, you'll never get these tag teams, blah, blah, blah. In the end, Jurassic Express, attack them. Totally just stands there, doesn't do shit except for point. The debut of Tay Conti from NXT. I forget what her name was in NXT. She comes out. She genuinely looked like she was happy. So good for her. I think it's Nyla Rose. Rose beat Conti. It's basic women's match on AEW. The main event, you had the TNT Championship, Dustin Rhodes versus Brody Lee. In 2020, scratch my own for this one. In 2020, Dustin Rhodes, who's 52, is main eventing a TV show, a wrestling TV show, against Brody Lee, who's 30, mid-30s, 40-something. Yeah, this is the new innovative wrestling product. You looked on WWE Raw, you had Dominic, who's 20-something, main eventing Raw against Buddy Murphy, who's 31. That's innovative. They're an innovative company, folks. Jeez. The match wasn't bad. Dustin Rhodes, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on him because I'm really not, because he's actually very good in the ring. For a guy his age, he's able to go out there and work with just about anyone. You put him in the ring with anyone, he'll work. So, good on Dustin. Brody Lee is just boring. He is just a bag of bleh. He is a giant bag of meh. That's exactly what he is. Nothing special about him. Of all the people, Cody dropped the title to him. Not to Eddie Kingston, not to Scorpio Sky, but to Brody. Brody freaking Lee. The most boring, bland white guy in the company. Motherfucker. I'm hitting the mic against my forehead. So yeah, Lee wins. Cody promotes his new show on TNT, which no one gives a fuck about. Alright, so we're done with AEW. Let's go to actually, let's look up the ratings. I need to go to Twitter and do that. See, ratings. AEW. As a matter of fact, let me just look this up on the internet, because I had the Twitter one. Let me just look it up on the internet. Come on. And this thing, the fucking internet. Yeah, the internet's out. Hold on. Good thing we're not recording on Spreaker. Good thing we're here on Audacity. I'm pretty sure if I look on my Spectrum app, there are outages in your area. You think? You fucking idiots. Let's see. Alright, so let's see. Wednesday Night Dynamite drew 1.016 million viewers, plus 9.5% from last week on TNT, topping the 838 viewers garnered by NXT on their Super Tuesday. So those are NXT ratings. AEW ranked number 7 in the cable top 150 for 18 to 49 demo and 55 in viewership. Last week's Dynamite drew over 928 viewers and ranked 8 in the cable top 150. Yada, yada, yada. This is the best AEW viewership of 2020 and the third best viewership of all time. Their TNT premiere on October the 2nd drew 1.409 million viewers, while the October 9th drew over 1.018 million viewers. This is the first time the show has hit 1 million viewers since then. The NBA playoffs and ESPN at 6:40 topped the night in the... we don't really need to talk about that, so that's neither here nor there. But, I mean, good for AEW. Good for wrestling. I mean, this is a clear-cut example of why both shows need to be on different nights and not against each other, because it's good for both shows if they're on different nights, because that way they get their fans. At the end of the day, they'll still get their fans. AEW will get their fans. NXT will get their fans. If you have both shows literally on at the same time on the same night, you'll have people that are just going to stick to one over the other. Or you'll have people that won't have time to watch it live. They'll either watch one and wait for the other to come out later, or they'll just watch both on demand. Or they'll wait till it gets on the network in 2 weeks. Or, it gets to the network in a week. So, AEW can stick to Wednesday. NXT can be on a Tuesday or maybe even a Thursday. Who knows. But, yeah, and there's already rumors that WWE is considered, putting it on different nights. So, good. They need to switch to different nights. AEW can stick to their Wednesday slot. So we'll get to NXT right now. On Tuesday, their Super Tuesday show. First match was the NXT Championship, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor wins, become the new NXT Champion. He is the third NXT Champion in history to win the title twice. Good match. It was the right call to make Finn the champ, because they're not going to give it to Adam after he just won it, or after he just held it for 450, 60 days. I don't know how long it was. The longest reign in NXT history. You're going to want to give it to Finn, because I've been saying about Finn Balor since he's been in NXT, what's the end game for him? Why is he here? Is he just here to have good matches? Or is he actually here to do something? Is there a reason to have Finn Balor on NXT? Other than to just, draw fans in. It's the right call. I don't know what they're going to do with Adam Cole. I don't know if they're going to make this another match, like at the next TakeOver, like they're going to have Adam and Finn, which, again, I wouldn't mind seeing those two again. Those two work well together. They kind of have... they're similar, but not too similar. Like, they look similar in size. I think, Finn has a little bit more muscle on him. Adam Cole is more of a mat wrestler. Finn does mat wrestling too. He does technical wrestling, but he does a lot of aerial stuff. It works just right. They're two big stars. Again, good storytelling. These two have great chemistry. I mean, they've obviously worked with each other before. I mean, they had that background of, the Bullet Club. I'm not sure if they were in it, at the same time. But good match. I like this match. Wouldn't mind seeing it again. Finn Balor is the champ. Again, it works because, Cross, he's indicated that he might not even be out that long. He'll probably be back in a few months. So that way, Finn Balor is a champion. You have a lot of good matches for him. You have, possibly another Adam Cole match. You have, Ciampa. Maybe Gargano, but I'd rather not see that. Maybe him and Dream. Maybe him and, who else can you put in front of him? I don't know who else you can put in front of him. But then, as soon as they're done with that, that's when Cross comes back. You can have a Cross and Finn feud. That way you can bring back the Demon. The Demon versus Cross. Again, I use this term a lot. That's a money matchup. That's a matchup I wouldn't mind seeing. So, and then they showed in the background that in the backstage that Adam Cole and Finn Balor did the Too Sweet thing, and there's that. Shotzi Blackheart and Io Shirai meet. Tegan Knox has dinner with the Garganos. I fast forward through that. The Shotzi Blackheart and Io thing. What just happened? Robert Stone was about to attack Shotzi's tank, and he runs away, and then Aaliyah ends up interrupting Io Shirai's photo shoot. So they get chased in the ring, and then Shotzi and Io, fight them off. Shotzi's about to give Io her title back, but then she kind of takes it back as a way of saying, "Hey, I'm your next opponent." Good match, and that'd be a good match because, Shotzi, no pun intended, because she has green hair. She's kind of green at this moment, but she's not too bad. She has a good character. I imagine that's something, again, more for kids. Because kids are going to see the green hair and go, "Oh, that's cool. I want to have green hair." And also, I'm surprised they haven't started selling the tank. You can easily make that into toys. You can make that into a whatchamacallit, like one of those big wheels. Like you can sell the tank on the website for, what is it, like $50, $100. That can be a big item. That can be something for Christmas, or you can sell like tank keychains or tank Hot Wheels. They can't say Hot Wheels, but you get what I mean. So that teases that. Let's see. Velveteen Dream versus Ashanti Adonis. They're giving. They obviously think Adonis is something. It looks like they like him because got a lot of offense on Dream. Dream wins up winning. I guess Dream is a heel now. Whoop-de-doo. Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory. This seemed like kind of a squash match. Reed wins. Austin Theory to me is just extremely fucking generic. He screams creator wrestler. He just looks like a creator wrestler. There's just really nothing that special about him. Really not. I think the opposite about Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, I've done a 180 on. Again, the first time I saw him, I was like, he's just another generic big guy. Nothing special. And then they started putting him, and then they put him in a match against Cross. That had a little bit of a storyline to it, which I'm just like, okay. They have him against guys like Damian Priest. The guy can talk. He's likable. At the same time, they don't make him too likable. They give him a story to where you want to root for him, but he's also an ass kicker. So I like Bronson Reed. I like his entrance. He probably has the best entrance going right now. It's dope. It's dope as fuck. So, Roderick Strong versus Killian Dane. Fast forwarded. Just don't care at all. Strong won. Bleh. The main event, the steel cage match. Rhea Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez. Two women in steel cage. I don't think we've had a women's steel cage match, but they were promoting this as a badass steel cage match. And it worked because you had two badass women in the ring. You had Rhea Ripley, who's just a star. She looks legit. She looks like she can go in the ring and wrestle a guy. And then Mercedes Martinez, again, looks legit. Looks like a badass. Looks like someone that'll beat the shit out of you. She doesn't look like she takes anyone's shit. I like the match. I didn't like how they added weapons in the ring, though. I just wish they could have just made this a straight up steel cage match and just had these two tell a story and just fight each other. The ending of the match had there was a table spot in the ring where Rhea Ripley goes for the Riptide and slams Mercedes Martinez through it. 1, 2, 3. Didn't have a problem with it. It was a nice spot, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe I am becoming Jim Cornette too much because I don't know. I didn't think they should have added the table. Just my opinion. These fucking outlaw mud show goose are fucking out wrestling, motherfucker. But yeah, it's a good match. I like these two. I like these two working with each other. I wish this could have been on a takeover. This would have been a great takeover match. But Rhea Ripley, a lot of people are saying that that they don't think she's a star. I don't know. I disagree. I don't know why people are saying that, because they have called off so many top guys before and then put them back into that spot. I mean, they did the same thing with Austin. They did the same thing with The Rock. They did the same thing with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. They did the same thing with so many other top guys. But for some reason with Rhea Ripley, they view her as not a top star anymore. I don't get why. But wouldn't mind seeing this match again. I would not mind seeing these two work again. Maybe in like a I don't know, street fight, last man standing. I don't know what you want to call it, but not a bad match, which I would not mind seeing again. So, still got more news to talk about. WWE banning superstars from third-party contracts. This was last week. WWE's Vince McMahon sent out a memo to everybody in the WWE, letting them know you have 30 days to kind of pretty much shut down your accounts on Cameo, Twitch. I don't know if they said YouTube, which if that's the case, poor Xavier Woods, because they went out of their way. I mean, WWE even acknowledged up, up, down, down. They acknowledged it, when they had their 100th episode or their 1 million subscribers. So maybe they're making an exception for Xavier Woods. But Ryan Satin provided a statement from the company on the matter. Much like Disney and Warner Brothers, WWE creates, promotes, and invests in its intellectual property, i.e. the names of the performers like The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Big E, and Braun Strowman. It is the control and exploitation of these characters that allows WWE to drive revenue, which in turn enables the company to compensate performers at the highest levels in sports entertainment industry. Notwithstanding the contractual language, it is imperative for the success of our company to protect our greatest assets and establish partnerships with third parties on a company-wide basis rather than at the individual level, which as a result will provide more value for all involved. Vince McMahon informed all wrestlers and on-screen personalities that they had 30 days to cease working with third parties and independently because they were detrimental to our company. Let's see. The report raised eyebrows because it said McMahon was claiming that WWE owned the licensing rights for wrestlers' real names, not just intellectual property tied to their characters. And Jurang put, "If I'm not the Secretary of Labor, I'm pretty confident I'll have his or her number to talk about the ridiculous classification of WWE wrestlers. As independent contractors like controlling their name and likeness for years, even for something as benign as Cameo. Come on, Vince, you've already tried folks breaking their backs for you of healthcare, security, recovery time, retirement benefits, and fair treatment, RE, licenses, and royalties. At least let them make a living off of their own names. Many of them need it." In his letter, there's a lot. In his letter, McMahon alluded to the next phase of growth in the WWE. The specifics of the next phase are unclear, but Verge's Chris Welch posited, the promotion could be looking to try some version of Cameo. WWE has apparently ordered talent. We already talked about that. WWE recently tried virtual meet and greets. They charged fans $125 for a 2-minute interaction, giving them a download of the video chat afterwards. It's easy to see this being their in-house alternative to Cameo, but I wonder if the cut is as good for the talent. I don't agree with this because during COVID, it hasn't been easy for a lot of guys and girls because it's been easy for people that were actually released because you had Rusev. It's hard to not call him Rusev. Go on Twitch and make a living on there. A lot of other guys made their living on Twitch and YouTube. Same thing with Cameo and again Twitch, Cameo, YouTube, whatever you want to call it. I don't get WWE's whole process of this, which is we want our own thing. We want them doing our own thing. We don't want them doing other people's things. Don't you think this is a way to bring in more viewers? Like, I really don't get it. A lot of these, cameos are helping, the talent bring in more revenue, not just for themselves. Possibly they can bring in revenue for the company. Like, why not tell the talent, okay, you can make a cameo. You can, charge whatever you want. We want a percentage of what you make. Because you're, I'm not gonna say you're a property. You work for us. You're our employee. You can make money on side projects as long as it's appropriate, not like an OnlyFans or whatever. But as long as we get a little bit of the percentage, we want a little bit of the cut. We don't want too much, maybe like 5%, 5 or 10%. Like, do that. Same thing for Twitch. Same thing for I don't know how much. I mean, yeah, you can monetize on YouTube, but to tell people, you have 30 days to get off this because we don't agree with it. We don't want you going out there and having fun and acting like human beings. It's dumb. It's a really bad idea. I don't agree with it at all. Just let these guys have fun. Because, when you're working in WWE land, you have to be in WWE mode. You have to think like a wrestler. You have to constantly be on. You have no time to have fun. And when you finally have a chance to have fun, that's when you have to pay for it. It's a dumb idea. It's dumb. It's dumb on Vince McMahon's part. I like what CM Punk said. CM Punk said, just keep doing you guys. What's he gonna do? Fire all of you? I mean, that means. He's kind of right. I mean, can he actually just fire everybody that doesn't keep it? I think it was Jim Cornette who made an interesting point. A lot of these guys and girls who said that their dream was to go to the WWE, I mean, that's no bullshit. And Vince McMahon says, if you don't get rid of this, if you don't get rid of your Twitch and Cameo profile, I'm going to fire you. Yes, boss. They don't want to lose that job. So they want to stay in the WWE, which is good. Nothing wrong with wanting to stay in the WWE. You want to be recognized. You want to be in the biggest company, and the biggest wrestling company in the world. AJ Styles talked about it. He says, "Let's talk about the stream. Is it going to continue? And from the contacts that I've had, the information I got is WWE doesn't want us to interact. Does want us to interact with our fans, and that means streaming. They want this to happen. They want you to have a YouTube channel. There are things they want you to do and be able to do. And what we knew was a little vague at first. We did different things, and it was borderline whether we knew we could do it or not. And so those will be answered. But streaming, I don't think will be one of those things that are taken away. YouTube is not one of those things that will be taken away. There will be changes in other areas. I'm sure of it." And I don't know exactly where that is. But let me say this again. The WWE, want us to be able to stream and interact with our fans, and that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what I'm doing, from Adam Cole to Breeze and Xavier Woods to Baron Corbin. It's what we do. It's fun. So AJ Styles pretty much confirming that they're not taking it away. Or, I don't know, like, what it sounded like he was saying was that they got mixed messages from what they sent. That they honestly thought they were told, take down your profile. I really don't know. I don't know why Ryan Satin would put that out. And now AJ Styles just turns around and goes, "Yeah, it's not that. It actually isn't what happened. They want us to interact with fans." Because I believe I saw an article that said that WWE, in light of the fan outrage, that they said, well, they can make these profiles, but just use your real name. Ask our permission first. So I want to believe AJ, because AJ, I don't see why he would lie. I mean, I can, but AJ comes off as a stand-up guy. He comes off as someone who just tells the truth, that he wouldn't just lie just because of the company. Speaking of AJ, just to close this show out, because we're already at an hour 30. Let's see. Let's start it out. On his Twitch stream on Tuesday, Styles confirmed he plans to retire. "I want to retire," he began. "I really do. I'm going to give you a breakdown of what's going on this Friday. I'm going to leave and listen It could be a lot of worse, but with everything going on with COVID and whatnot, I've gotten to see my kids' practices. That's really cool for me. My son's games for Forest City football are on Friday nights. I perform on Friday nights. This Friday isn't one of those. For whatever reason, they moved it to Saturday. He's going to have a Saturday football game, and I'm going to get to see it. A lot of people took that as him confirming that he'll be retiring on this Friday SmackDown. To which he, came out on his, Twitch again and just said, "No, I'm not retiring." That's not really what I said. I'm, talking about retirement, but I don't want to retire right now because he currently did sign a deal to stay with WWE, and he's stated that this contract will be his last wrestling contract. That once his contract is up, he's done. And I don't know how long he's signed out for. Hold on. Let's see. AJ Styles WWE contract. Because he signed back in March. It's a 3-year deal, so in 3 years it'll be up. Here's another one he just said. Right. Okay, what the fuck? Where is that video where he said that he doesn't want to retire? Yeah, come on. Alright, let's pull it up. AJ Styles.
What do you think about Dave Meltzer journalism?
What?
That's what I think about it.
What?
Well, it wasn't the video I was looking for. Come on, where's the video?
On SmackDown.
Okay, here's the video I was looking for. Here we go.
If your time is this week on SmackDown, made up by the dirt sheet. Of course it is. I don't know why they would say that. Did you see that?
That's who
If you're
That was just funny, though, the whole Dave Meltzer. So, I mean, he's not retiring yet because he still has 3 more years left on his contract, so. So, I mean, yeah, good. I mean, AJ Styles is pretty much given a lot to the business. I mean, cause, I think if AJ Styles wanted to wrestle until he was 50, he could. Because he's 43? Because I think he was 40 when he debuted on. Wait, how old is AJ Styles? Hold on, I need to check to the internet. I need to check AJ Styles' age. Hold on. AJ Styles' age. He is 43 years old. Wow, 43 years old. Motherfucker still bumps out there like he's 20. Like, Jesus, like better. Remember, he bumps better than most 20-year-olds. But I mean, yeah, I didn't think much of that tweet. I mean, I when I saw, what he said, I was like, yeah, he ain't retiring on Friday. There's no way. It'd be funny if he did a spoof where he pretended he was going to retire and then he just beats the shit out of whoever. Like, it'd be funny if he did that, but I can't see AJ Styles retiring now. Again, he has 3 more years left of his contract, so if something like devastating happened to him, like, knock on wood, I hope it doesn't. I hope a freak neck injury doesn't end AJ Styles' career. Like, the best way I would want AJ to retire is on his own accord. Is as soon as that contract is up for him to just go, all right, I'm done. Like Forrest Gump, I like to go home now. That's the best way for AJ to retire. And he has kids, he wants to see him play football. He wants to see his kids grow up and do cool shit. So Anyways, that's the show. That is the end of the show. That's pretty much all I would talk about. Shout out to Wrestling Soup. I think they just finished. I think they still currently have a show going on, or they just finished up. So go to their Patreon. Mish, Joey Numbers, and John Draper. John Draper, he has a new show. He has a new show on Spreaker with B-Show, Brian, and Shaheen. It's called The Apocalypse. Breaking the Apocalypse. I'm sorry. Breaking the Apocalypse. I just said Popsicle. Breaking the Apocalypse, which is going to come out every Friday. So expect a new one to come out tomorrow. Fuck, I didn't get to talk about the boys. I want to talk about the boys. Let me do these shout-outs real quick, and I'll get to the boys. DTKC, Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle, on in a new night on Patreon. No more Mondays. It's going to be on Tuesday. Just for $5. Actually, I think it's $3 now. It's going to be a lot cheaper. And Kevin Castle, who's going to be having a KNT Chronicles tonight after Soup, or it might be going on already, with our good friend Trez. We just talked about B-Show Brian. B-Show Brian with the Wrestling Reanimated and Horror Reanimated on Spreaker. Shaheen with the Garden of Doom podcast with our good friend Jeff Lippman, who was on 2 weeks ago. The Texas Podcast Massacre. Why do I always forget the name of the podcast? Fuck. I always forget names. Hold on. Fuck. God damn it, where is it? Come on. What the fuck is it? Wrestling Court with Julianne Robb. They just did an episode yesterday with Kevin Castle. Where the fuck is that? I'm such a bad friend. Ruben Prime TV with our good friend Ruben Prime. Demented and Unusual with another good friend of mine, Relly H. Where the fuck is that podcast at? Oh my god, I'm such an asshole. Hold on, I'm trying to find the name of it. I forgot the name. God damn it. Are you kidding me? Raheem, I'm so sorry. I forgot the name of the fucking show. My mind just went blank. Where the fuck is it? Come on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm trying to find the name of the podcast. God damn it, are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. Where the fuck is where's this show? Okay, RJ and the Savage Squad show. Oh my god. What the fuck? Why did I forget the name? Raheem, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I forgot the name of the show. Oh my god, I said a brain fart. I'm so sorry, dude. Yeah, the RJ and the Savage Squad show. I'm gonna need to edit that part out. Go listen to them. You can find them on Spotify. You can also find them on Anchor. Oh man, I love Raheem. But he's gonna hate me after this. Who else? Peter from Pops and Bangers. Matter of fact, Peter, our good friend Peter, just got a job with E-Wrestling News as a writer. So, good for him. Who else am I forgetting? Who am I forgetting? Tyler the Trademark with the Trademark Show. I'll look for him. And Angie Carlick from False Count Radio. They just had a new episode that came out. And that's about it. We'll just end it by talking about The Boys. So, if anyone hasn't watched, if you've been living under a rock pretty much, The Boys, season 2 just came out last Friday. It's not going to be a binge thing though, because they decided to have it be a weekly show instead of just putting all their episodes out. Like complete dicks that they are. If anyone didn't watch the first season of The Boys, it's based off a comic book. Pretty much like everything else is in the world, but it's based off a comic book by Garth Ennis, where they take the idea of superheroes and say, what if superheroes were not the way they are portrayed in Marvel or DC? What if they were complete dicks? What if Superman became a psychopath? What if superheroes were... What if the Batman was sponsored by Doritos? What if companies ran superheroes like a sports team? Like, we'll trade you our Atlanta superhero for your Boston superhero in exchange for this superhero. So the comic came out in 2005. The show started in 2019 in the golden age of superhero property, where if anything was a comic book, it gets turned into a movie or a TV show. So it came out at the right time, at the right time when movies like Deadpool came out and people demanded, we want more edgier superhero property. So season 1 was a hit. It has Carl Urban as this underground group that kind of works on its own, but kind of works for the government, where they keep an eye on these superheroes to make sure they're staying in line. Or, in Carl Urban's words, just spike them. You gotta spike the bastards. Season 1 was amazing. The main hero, quote unquote, is a Homelander, who is basically, Superman. He's the most powerful hero in the world. He can't really be beat. No one can really fight him or match him because he's way too powerful. And he also happens to be an egotistical, maniacal, sociopath. For, this group called the Seven, which is, the Justice League. And they're owned by a company called Vought. Unlike, in like comic books where, Superman, fell from, Krypton into Smallville. The superheroes in this world, they were literally given their powers from birth. They were given their powers with a serum called Compound V. I guess like super soldier serum, but in this case, I guess depending on how your molecular structure works, or what do you want to call it, you're given different powers. Like Homelander was a test tube baby. He didn't have any parents. He was literally born in a lab, and he was given the powers of flight, of super strength. He doesn't really have a weakness. He doesn't have a weakness or any emotion. He's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. Other characters, like the Deep, who's basically Aquaman. A-Train, the Flash. Mauve, I don't know how to say her name right, who's basically Wonder Woman. Everybody else has different powers. It's taking the superhero idea and flipping it on its head. Like, this is how it would probably happen if this were real life. Superman would probably be a psychotic piece of shit. I buy that. A lot of nobody is that noble. Nobody in the world is that noble. Because nobody can be Captain America. Because we don't have a Steve Rogers. We don't have somebody who's noble, who's willing to accept everybody. Because if this were reality, Captain America would be a racist. Steve Rogers would be a racist. He would not work with Sam Wilson or Nick Fury. Like, that just wouldn't happen. It's same thing with Superman. Superman would be this maniacal, egotistical, sociopath. They did that in Brightburn. And now they're doing it in The Boys. So, the first 2 episodes came out. And the first 2 are they're kind of a slow burn. 3 is where it really starts to pick up. And, the next episode is coming out tomorrow. They brought in a new hero, quote unquote, named Stormfront, who's basically Thor. It looks like she's almost because they made her a woman, because in the comics she was a man. You're not really too sure about her because she comes in and already Homelander's like, who the fuck is this? So she tries to take over as the new leader. And she comes in kind of like very condescending, kind of like a smart ass. But you start to like her, but then you realize what her true nature is. Because in episode 3, spoilers, she kills an entire like project, this area, which is predominantly black. She literally kills everybody there. And then she kills, this this Asian character who's the brother of Kimiko. And, excuse my language, I don't mean to offend anyone, she calls him a fucking Asian bastard, or a fucking yellow bastard, and, kills him. In the comic book, Stormfront is a Nazi. And, he's a man, he was also a Nazi, working for Hitler. Eric Kripke, who's the showrunner, had said he was going to slightly tweak, the whole Nazi thing, because everybody on the show, the heroes are not that old. Instead of it being like she's an actual Nazi, she was a part of a white supremacist neo-Nazi group, which makes sense because that's an everyday thing. So I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm not fine with white supremacy, but I'm fine with how they're tweaking the characters. So, season 2 of The Boys. They already announced season 3 before season 2 even came out, with Jensen Ackles, coming in, to play a role, which I'm stoked for. But The Boys, if you haven't watched it, watch it. But that's the show. I will be back next week. Maybe I'll have a guest. I don't know. But in the meantime, take care. Take care of each other. Take care of your family. Take care of yourself, and just be safe. Laters.